Is strengthening. It is strengthening quickly. So the hurricane hunters have been flying in. The latest flight just found an increased wind and lower pressure. So as the pressure drops, the wind is going to increase. And so with this new advisory that just came in, winds are now at 60 miles per hour and the pressure down to 986. That's a big jump from the last one, right? The last advisory was at 45. Now we're at 60. And it's not because we didn't have the information. We knew. It's because the system is strengthening very quickly. And that's very concerning as it approaches the coast. Now, the movement to the north-northwest at 10. And that trend in movement is something that we expect to continue, maybe even a little more northwest. It may even pick up some speed as it approaches the coast. First of all, look how the clouds are just starting to fill the Gulf of Mexico. Tropical storm force conditions extend out 115 miles. So this is a decently sized system already. And what we're concerned about is that's over very warm sea surface temperatures, 87-degree water temperatures, if not warmer. There's some reports into the low 90s. The ocean is hot right here, and that is the fuel for this storm to continue to develop. Plus, the wind shear is light. All signs point to a strengthening, a continue to strengthen even more system. So we're expecting a hurricane. We could even see a Cat 2 or even a Cat 3 hurricane at landfall. That is a possibility. You look at the timing. Now, this is the RPM model. The global models take it in a little further to the north and to the east, but the RPM brings it a bit further to the south. Hurricane warnings are up, including Corpus Christi, Victoria, Texas. Tropical storm warnings are up for places like Galveston and Houston and down towards Brownsville. So here's a look at the path from the National Hurricane Center. Again, right now it's at 60 miles per hour. So these numbers are going to go up in terms of where it's starting at. Later today, it is likely to be stronger and then continuing to track towards the coast, making a landfall at some point overnight Friday into Saturday. And then look what happens, how the track sort of balloons out. There's a lot of indication that it's either going to be stationary or moving erratically around and possibly even going back over the water, and that could lead to more strengthening. So, Jim, when a system doesn't go anywhere, we know it's going to be dropping a lot of rain and available for sandbags. But as of 6:20 last evening, they had run out of sand for those sandbags, but they're going to get more in stock. What that means to me is that people are preparing. They're taking advantage of that and getting ready, which is good. Look at this forecast. The heaviest of rain starting on early Friday, continuing into Monday. So we're talking 4 days at least of heavy rain on the order of 18 to 24 inches. That's 2 feet of rain. Corpus Christi, you know, the areas of town that flood, you know, with a couple of inches. So we're going to have significant problems. The winds are going to be the toughest from Friday evening into Saturday when we are expecting a landfall and up to 6 feet of storm surge. And in the next block, I'll talk about what that means and what that's going to look like with your vehicles and your home. Victoria, Texas, we're going to see some showers and storms today, not because of Harvey. The tropical weather gets in starting tomorrow, continuing into Monday as well. And we're also watching for some heavy rain there as well. Heavy rain everywhere is going to be one of the issues, extending beyond the wind threat. San Antonio, let's talk about you. You're inland. You might not think about a tropical threat, right? But the heavy rain is going to be a concern here, beginning on Saturday, continuing into at least Monday with 8 to 12 inches of rain. Strongest of the winds we felt Saturday evening. Now, for San Antonio, there's going to be a gradient across town. And, you know, especially off to the east of town is where we could see anywhere from a foot to maybe even a foot and a half worth of rain. On the west side of town, where we might only see 1 or 2 inches because there is going to be that, I think, tight gradient of heaviest of rainfall. Now let's go up to Louisiana because here too we are expecting some significant rain. This forecast is only through Tuesday evening. The rain is expected to go beyond that, but this is just until that time. Anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of rain in southwestern Louisiana, including Lake Charles. New Orleans, we're expecting the heavy rain to come your way as well. Will all depend on the storm track. And again, you know, it's the storm itself is still developing. But look at this forecast with rain all the way into Monday for New Orleans, and of course concerned about the pumping systems here, Reynolds, in Louisiana. It's been 25 years since Hurricane Andrew made landfall as a Category 5 hurricane in South Florida. And that's 25 years since Brian Norcross delivered a legendary 23-hour broadcast, taking residents through the fierce wind, the rain, and even as his own studio, WTVJ, became unsafe to broadcast from, he was forced to move to a safer space. 25 years ago, but I'm sure that you can still remember it like it was yesterday. Brian Norcross here on Skype this morning. Thanks for joining us. And, you know, I know it still haunts South Florida, but what have we learned in the years since Andrew? Dealing with that today, and, you know, compare Andrew to Harvey and sort of, you know, how quickly things can turn devastating and catastrophic. Let's talk about population. There's been a shift, right, with a move to America's coastlines. How has that impacted our ability to communicate the storms? The radios, NOAA weather radios, are a fantastic and essential addition to your storm prep kit. Brian Norcross, thank you. And, he has a new book out. It's called My Hurricane Andrew Story. Brian will RV. And if you're heading to the store, Reynolds, what do we